Did you know that the earliest form of tariffs actually started with city walls? In ancient times, cities charged fees for goods entering through the gates. That money wasn't just for guards, it helped build defenses too. Markets in ancient times weren't open and free like today. If you wanted to sell inside a city, you had to pay a fee. That fee, it was the earliest form of a tariff. In ancient Egypt and Babylon, taxes were already part of daily life. Rulers taxed imports like spices and metals. These taxes helped fund the royal class and strengthen their power. In China, the Qin dynasty had a well-organized checkpoint system. Goods crossing borders had to be declared and taxed. It gave the central government tight control over trade. By the Han dynasty, the Silk Road became a major source of tariff revenue. Silk and ceramics leaving China were heavily taxed. These taxes were a pillar of the empire's economy. In medieval Europe, toll booths were everywhere between cities. Merchants had to pay fees every time they entered a new region. It strengthened local powers and fragmented control. As ships traveled farther with better navigation, tariffs shifted from land to seaports. Now every ship had to be inspected and taxed upon docking. Port cities suddenly became rich. During the colonial era, Britain used tariffs to monopolize trade profits. Colonies could only trade with Britain, and foreign goods were heavily taxed, sparked unrest and resistance. America's independence was closely tied to tariffs. Britain imposed heavy taxes on tea, triggering the Boston Tea Party. That moment helped launch the American Revolution. By the late 18th century, tariffs became tools to protect domestic industries. Many nations raised import taxes to support local manufacturing. This marked the rise of protectionism. In the 19th century, free trade and protectionism became hot topics. Britain led the free trade movement by cutting grain tariffs. This was known as the repeal of the Corn Laws. Free traders argued that open markets increased efficiency. They believed tariffs only hurt consumers, but opponents feared foreign competition would crush local businesses. In the 19th century, the U.S. embraced protectionist tariffs. European machinery and textiles were heavily taxed. This helped American industries grow rapidly. After Japan's Meiji Restoration, tariffs played a role in protecting new industries. Though bound by unfair treaties at first, Japan eventually gained tariff autonomy. That helped its industrial modernization. After World War I, nations raised tariffs to rebuild their economies. This ushered in a wave of economic nationalism. Global trade slowed sharply. The U.S. passed one of its most controversial tariff laws, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. It raised taxes on thousands of imported goods. The result? Retaliatory tariffs and a deeper Great Depression. After World War II, countries began rethinking extreme protectionism. They formed the GATT General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. It laid the groundwork for modern trade rules. GATT aimed to gradually reduce tariffs and boost trade. Through multiple negotiation rounds, average global tariffs fell. This fueled post-war economic growth. In 1995, the World Trade Organization replaced GATT. It became the main body for global trade rules. Members agreed to reduce both tariffs and non-tariff barriers. When China joined the WTO, the trade landscape changed again. Low-cost exports flooded the market and reshaped supply chains. Many nations began reassessing their tariff strategies. The U.S. China trade war brought tariffs back into the spotlight. Both sides imposed higher taxes on each other's goods. Markets shook, and businesses felt the heat. Now, digital products and services are raising new tariff questions. Cloud computing and streaming weren't taxable before, but that's changing. Governments are figuring out how to tax the virtual world. Environmental tariffs are the latest frontier. The EU's carbon border adjustment mechanism taxes high-emission imports. The goal is to push for greener global trade. Developing countries argue these green tariffs hold back their economies. They see it as a new form of rich country protectionism. Striking a balance between fairness and sustainability is still a challenge. Today, tariffs are more than just economic tools. They're political weapons too. Raising tariffs can quietly pressure rivals without firing a single shot. Countries are forming free trade agreements to reduce tariffs among themselves. CPTPP, RCEP, and USMCA are just a few major deals. These pacts boost regional trade ties, but open trade has its downsides. Industries often move overseas, causing job losses at home. This creates political pressure to bring tariffs back. Some governments target specific sectors with special tariffs. Steel, solar panels, and similar industries get extra protection. It's about saving local jobs and maintaining industry stability. Retaliatory tariffs often escalate conflicts. One country raises tariffs, the other hits back. That kind of trade war raises prices and breaks supply chains. When multilateral talks stall, some countries go solo. They raise tariffs to force negotiation. It's risky, but sometimes it works. Economists generally say long-term high tariffs slow innovation. Without foreign competition, local industries become lazy. Open markets keep businesses on their toes. That said, smart tariffs can help balance interests. Restricting ultra-cheap imports can protect emerging industries. It's called strategic trade policy. Though ancient tariffs remain central in today's global economy, they reflect the intersection of economics, politics, and strategy. Understanding tariffs means understanding the world. Future tariffs will get even more complex. Digital taxes, carbon fees, and new models are on the rise. This will reshape how we shop, work, and trade. So are tariffs necessary protection or barriers to freedom? There's no single right answer, but history gives us clues to form our own view.